guys, it's Leslie here with YYC Knits. It is an absolutely beautiful day in Calgary, Alberta, Canada today. And as we look out the window, we have, oh my goodness, so much sun coming in. And yeah, it's a gorgeous scene here in Calgary today. It's -2, but with the snow is quickly melting, but with how cold it was here before Christmas, it feels like +20. Yeah, so it's just gorgeous today. What I would like to show you is how to cast on using the German cast on method in the round for my heterozygous hat that I have just put up on Ravelry. It's December the 30th today. 2016, we don't have many more days left in 2016, and we're going to be celebrating New Year's with friends and family, and I hope that you are too, so it should be fun. Anyways, when we do a long tail cast on, you want to gauge about 1 foot is 20 stitches, and that's give or take depending on the thickness of the yarn. So I usually take about, you know, a 12-inch length of yarn and pull it out from my working ball for every 20 stitches. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 111 stitches is what we cast on. Actually, we're casting on 112, and then we're doing a jogless join in the round. So we've got our working cake here, and we've got our tail end of the yarn on around our thumb. And what I generally do, I've got a set of 16-inch circulars. These are a 4.5 mil, which are actually too big for what the pattern calls for to get gauge, but this would definitely make a little bit bigger hat. And we've got a bigger yarn here that we're using. I think this is actually I'm pretty sure it's a Patton's Classic in a lime green color, and it's really, really cool. So I love this color. Yeah, so it's just a cheap yarn from Michael's, but it's 100% wool, which is nice. So when I go in, I never like to knot my knitting, so I just go on top and then kind of come around like so. So I take my needle and go down and then do a little turn. So I've got it there on my needle, and I don't have to put any knots in my knitting. So for this German cast on, we're going to go around the thumb, through that thumb stitch, around the yarn on our pointer finger, and then we're going to kind of come through the thumb like so. Around the thumb, through the thumb, around the pointer, in back through that thumb again, like so. This gets pretty fast. The more you work it, the better you get. And then you just want to tighten them up on your needle. It makes a really nice cast on edge. And the reason why we do this on this hat is because I've got a bit of a rolled brim, and we don't want any, we want a very stretchy bind on. And as you can see already, the stretch for this bind on edge bound for this cast on is the same as the fabric that you're knitting. So if I was to knit this up in a stockinette, there'd be no tension on the cast on edge. It would be the same stretchy as the fabric that is knit after it. So I'll just continue showing you how I do this. So we've got our working yarn over here on our pointer finger and our tail around our thumb. So we're going to go around the thumb, in through, around that pointer, and back through the thumb like so, and just tighten it up. try that again. I'm not sure if I messed that one up there. I'm trying to work through the camera, around the camera, to show you guys how this is done. And again, if you just mess up, just take it off and start again. So hopefully you can see that clearly enough on the video. So this is for the heterozygous hat cast on. It's a free download for now until we work out all the bugs, if there is any. And you can find that on Ravelry and download the PDF. It's a really simple hat. And yeah, that's how it's done. So I'll just pause the camera and continue to cast on the additional 100 or so stitches, and then I'll show you how I join in the round for knitting in a circle without having a jog. So it's a jogless join. So okay, so we are back here, and we've got our required amount of stitches cast on for the cast on edge for the hat. Keep in mind that this this worsted weight yarn is just for the purpose of this tutorial, and the hat is knit in a very supple, how do I say, it's 100% superwash merino. It's 12 Mile Coulee Park, and it can be found on my website at yycknits.com, as well as on Ravelry under 12 Mile Coulee Park, and it's named after a Calgary park, like all of our hand-dyed bases. But it has a drape to it, and this does not. So just don't get the wrong idea that the hat could be knit up and look the same as it does in the pattern. And that's for the heterozygous hat. And I'll put a link below in the comments. So I just wanted to do a little shout out to this beautiful little bag handmade by Karina. This is Knitty Pie on Instagram, and she made this beautiful little stitch marker bag, and I'll tell you, the attention to detail is just out of this world. It's absolutely well made like crazy. She's got a Etsy shop, and so I just grabbed my little bag to pull out a pretty colored stitch marker. And I just thought I'd do a little shout out to Karina. So if you're watching, hi Karina, I love my little bag. It's so super cute. I don't know if I should use this one or this one. I think I'll use the really blingy one. We're getting down. We've got all of our little stitch markers in use right now on our works in progress. So It's been a busy month this December, just being out of school and being able to have more time to knit. So it's really great. I'm enjoying the break. Anyhow, so getting back at it, this hat here can be made, can be joined in the round. And what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to make sure that all of our stitches are nice and even and they're not crossed over in any way. But we are going to cast on one extra stitch. So as you can see, we did a good job guessing about a foot for every 20 inches for our tail, or 20 stitches for our tail. So that was great. And we've got just a little tail left, so that's perfect. I actually didn't end up casting on 110. I cast on 90. So I'm gonna work this hat as a second design, a little bit different on this worsted weight yarn. So this will be a kid's hat. Not quite sure yet, but we'll work it up separately. So we're going to cast on one extra stitch. So again, we're just going to go around that thumb. This is the German cast on, has to be super extra stretchy. And that's why we do it like this. So we've got one extra stitch. I'm just going to pause it and just do a quick recount, because it's better to measure twice and cut once than to find out that you've got the wrong amount of stitches. So I'll just recount, make sure I have 91 or one extra than I need to cast on before I join in the round. All right, so it's a good thing I counted. I did have 91 stitches already, so that's one more than we need. And how we're going to do this, this join in the round is we're going to take the first stitch on our left hand needle and we're going to slide it over to the right hand needle, okay, just as if we would just to move it across purlwise. We're going to grab this second stitch in on our right hand needle, and we are going to pass it over top of that stitch that we just placed on and come off. We're going to tighten up our working yarn with our tail like so. We're just going to pull them both apart, tighten them up nice and well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pass that stitch back over to the left hand needle, and we are going to place our stitch marker onto our needle and begin to knit in the round. It's that simple, folks. So that's how I do my jogless join in the round. And if you need that again, you can just maybe rewind the video and check it out further. But yeah, it makes for a nice join. You just want to make sure your tail is kept nice and tight. And because, as you know, when you're knitting in a circle, you're knitting in a spiral. And so by doing that join, we're evening out our first row of stitches so that they're not spiraled, but or sitting on top of one another, but yet they're parked right beside each other. And you can see that how nicely that joins together. So yeah, check out my pattern. I do have a group on Ravelry as well. It's YYC Knits, and you can join our group, join in the discussion. There isn't much going on right now, and especially when I'm in school, but definitely you can pose any questions that you have about knitting or dyeing or any of the designs that I have put out. I do post tests from time to time for some of the designs that I want to post on Ravelry, and just to make sure that everything works. And yeah, so happy knitting, everyone, and definitely check out my group on Ravelry. I spend most of my time over on Instagram. I do have a Facebook, YYC Knits, as well, but I don't get over there too much very often. So definitely Instagram's a good place to catch me, and Ravelry, of course. So happy knitting, happy December, happy New Year if I don't put out another video by then. Be safe. Make sure you have a designated driver, all that good stuff, and have a safe and happy new year, and we'll see you in 2017. Happy knitting!